at 5 p.m. we come your way, and we don't just come your way, we come your way with topics that you discuss at home. This is the Sixth Sense. My name is Roslyn Felly, and you know anytime we come your way, I'm not alone, right? Now, we are always four ladies, but I have my constant three. We are constant three, actually, and then we have one guest. So I have my constant two that are always by my side. I have Arabatuna Kumsen. Let's talk about our stuff for Mommy back up and Nadu Ole.
Hello.
And today we have a gospel musician. She doesn't live in Ghana, actually. She lives in the diaspora. In terms of that, she'll bring us some chocolate. And I know I'll have some chocolate. I'm talking about Bernice Pamford. Hello. Of course, anytime you hear that applause, you know that it's not coming from just us, right? The studio audience are here. Now, talking about that, what we have to discuss this evening is something that, again, I always say, it will get you talking and talking and talking. Now, what am I talking about? I'm not going to tell you. But a very big thank you to Onga for always keeping us going. Now, talking about the right spice in town. If you want your food to taste yummy, if you want your marriage to be oh, make sure you get Onga. They have different spices. They have the onion, they have the garlic, they have the ginger, and of course, Onga stew as well. So when you go to the market and you want to purchase any spice, it's only Onga. There's no other spice on the market than Onga. Onga, Mama's helping hand. Ilele. We'll be right back after the break. Just stay with us.
Right, you're welcome back. You're still watching the Sixth Sense, and we're discussing this very topic: should love be enough for marriage? Something that love should take everything without looking at other aspects of your partner. Is love everything? Is it all in all, or there are other aspects that you can put together to make your marriage work? I love you, you love me, but there are some other things that are not working. But because I love you, I'm not looking at that corner. So the question, should love be enough for marriage? Should love be enough for marriage? Should love be enough?
Start with the married people.
She's going to make that decision, so let's find out from her. Should love be enough, Araba?
Yes.
Okay.
I think love should be enough. First of all, what is love? I mean, per the Bible, love is kind, it is considerate, it does not boast. I mean, all the attributes. Okay, I've heard people say that love is not enough and that, you know, if you're poor, you don't have money, and can you eat love? Can you survive on love? No, but what love is a doing word. It's not just a word. It's not just an emotional feeling like I love you. No, in my opinion, I feel like love is enough, because if you look up the definition of love in the Bible, it is a lot of things. And if it is a lot of things, one of them is being considerate to your partner. So if you don't have money and it's going to put your partner in a bad place, so to speak, what do? You do something that will support your partner, right? So I believe love is a doing word. It's enough to make a relationship thrive. Right.
I have heard people say, "Odono enona ebedi," you know, but in other ways, I would say, like Araba quoted, there are lots of things that cover up love, and it even covers a multitude of sin or the wrongs of your partner, which happens to be one of the reasons why a lot of relationships or marriages get broken, because if there is love, it will cover everything. But in another sense, somebody will say that a songwriter says sika kakra, odo kakra, and some character kakra, if I should add. So love, if you have the love, it will cover up everything. The person hurts you, the love you have for the person will cover it up. The person does something you don't like, the love, if the love is that big, it's going to cover up everything. So for me, kakra kakra, bit and bit of everything. Sika kakra, odo kakra, character kakra, everything together.
I like that. Bernice?
So, you know, sometimes your partner or whoever you're in relationship is not showing anything that defines love. They are the opposite of everything that love talks about. And that is when you realize that, okay, now I just have to look at it in another angle and just forget about this whole love thing and just accept this person for who they are. So it's very true. Love is a lot of things, like you said. The Bible defines it to be a lot of things. But sometimes the people are not lovable. The people you are in relationship with, they are not lovable. They are not everything that the scriptures define them to be. So then we have to have a bigger picture of what love is. Maybe we don't really understand the depth of what love is. That's why we would say it's not enough. But when we understand the depth of what love is, I think it should be enough to sustain a relationship.
I think when we define love, I love the fact that you actually defined love. It goes way bigger than we think. It's more of, the person has to do this, the person has to do that, I have to do this, I have to do that. And it still boils down to the same thing that we all say. I think what we think love is, or how people interpret love, is the feeling.
Yeah.
But
It's much more than that.
the feeling is not what love is. Love is sacrifice. And I always say, for you to be able to marry somebody, you might feel you don't love the person because maybe physically you are not attracted to the person. But the fact that you have decided to stay in that marriage with that person means that you're willing to sacrifice to be with that person. And to sacrifice to be with that person, you might love the person without even knowing that you love the person. Because the decision to stay in there is even love.
Yeah.
So it's not always about the physical, it's not always about the touching and everything, but a decision. Some people also say, oh, I'm in there because of the money. It's understandable, but you are still sacrificing some way, somehow. Maybe there's a little bit of something that you have to give so you can be in there even though there's the money. Yeah. So still the sacrifice works. Is love everything? Without love, you can't be in a relationship. Without love, you can't be in marriage. It might not be your definition, where we'll say it's all about the kisses and the touches, and when I hear from you, boom, boom, chick, boom, boom, chick, yeah. But it is one of the main things.
It is the foundation, I would say.
It is the foundation. And then there are the other things.
Yeah.
There are the other things that, now when you get into the marriage, when the problems start, and then now you have to make a decision on whether to stay or not, where you're like, okay, because of the children.
That's where you come back to the definition. Because like I said, love is a doing word. It's not just, a word. It's a doing word. It's a verb.
You
love.
should act.
You should act it out,
Well,
yes.
yeah.
So if you're having problems, in the Bible, what does the Bible say about love? Love is kind and it's considerate.
Gentle.
So you have to be considerate of your partner and what they are going through. Perhaps their actions, you can be easily angered by their actions, but if you sit back and you think, okay, love teaches me to be considerate. Perhaps there's a reason why she's doing
But if
this.
there's no money, I'm sorry. If there's no money, I'm sorry. If there is no money, I am sorry. Why you
sorry. Yeah, sorry for what?
Could I consider it that you are talking about?
Eh.
I'm sorry.
Eh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I see. Well, I mean, like I said, that doesn't come up. The issue about, you not having money, and so therefore, I cannot be with you. If you are both considerate, if you're both ambitious, if you both have a vision,
I
you're
like
going
that.
in the same direction.
Because sometimes
think
if you don't take care, you end up being with somebody that becomes a burden on you.
Yeah.
Now you have children, and then your husband or your wife is a burden. It's difficult. For the men, sometimes they have some jobs that are good enough and they can take care of the home. For a woman, it's difficult. Listen, when we go back to the Bible, God created us as helpers. I always say it, and I'll keep on repeating it. In the Bible, is a man supposed to toil to take care of the woman?
Yeah.
That is why we keep on getting pregnant. I always tell the men, until that thing reverses in the Bible, you give me my money. Because I am getting pregnant. If you, the man, God says, now a man can get pregnant, that's fine. Then we can say shared money responsibilities. But as I am carrying the baby 9 months, and the baby drops, and it is your name the baby is carrying, honey, that money is coming from you.
I see.
Yes,
Yeah.
that money is coming from you.
Believe it or not, our generation today sees love as a different thing. For us today, if there is love, we feel there should be the money. So a bit of everything in our generation today. But if you cast your mind back, our great-grands and grandmothers, they would only base on the love, because the men go and the women stay. And to the women, so far as the man loves me, he takes care of me, love is okay for me. But today, our generation, that the woman is going to work, the man is going to work, everything, show me some love. A little kiss, a little hug. We come home, you put some money on the table.
Very
I mean,
necessary.
so we put all together. In today's generation, love alone, that is the language that we are speaking. Love
It's
alone
part of
does
it's
not
part
work.
of the language.
Yeah, yeah.
Money is part of love.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the language
Is
we are
money
speaking
your love
now.
language?
Money is part of love language.
Really?
Yeah, very necessary. So if you have the little or you share with me, it's very important to me. I don't take it for granted. Oh, I don't.
So we're defining love in the Bible. So even the Bible says God loved the world. So what did he do? He gave.
He gave.
So it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
So we're talking about, if you love me, mami huskano, it's part of it. So
And it's not even just the sika.
everything,
Yeah.
everything. So love gives, love takes care, love is kind. Like you're saying, it's difficult to just profess love and not show anything, and not, it's an action word, like you said. You have to show it. Everyone has their love language. Someone's love language is helping me with the house chores, helping me
But
pick
the
up the
money is
kids.
always-
So money is very important. In our generation, you definitely need the money to sustain the home. You do.
Talking about that, you know, people will also say, what if the man doesn't have the money? Nah?
We have to work for them.
Thank you.
We need to work for the money. I mean, you can't just be there and tell me you don't have the money. Fine, you don't have the money, but your hands are there. Let's work. Let's make the money.
Yeah.
Araba?
I mean, I don't even, I can't begin to even grasp the concept of a lazy man, because I feel like as a man, you are a leader first of all. You know, you're leading in the home, right? So you need to also lead by example.
Yeah.
And you're a provider.
Yeah.
So as for that one day, it just comes with, you know, being a man. Obviously, I mean, if you're in a situation where, you know, the woman is earning more, or maybe the man has lost his job or doesn't have a job yet, but is not lazy. I mean, that's different.
Yeah.
That's different. As long as he's not lazy, he's willing to use his hand, he's willing to put in the effort.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, that is love.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is one thing that a lot of people have to consider, because when you go into a relationship, or when you start marriage and you marry somebody who is lazy, it becomes a chore, or it becomes a headache. I don't know if anybody else has experienced this thing of, you know, when you have to take care of the man and he's lazy and you are the breadwinner, how tough it is.
How is it? How
very
is it like?
How is it like?
Yeah.
It's very. Say when you give man money consistently, it gets to a point where you lose respect for him. But when a man takes care of a woman, he gains some ego. This is my woman. I'm taking care of her.
Yeah.
I'm doing this. It's in the Bible.
And the woman
Yeah.
becomes proud
It's
of
in the Bible.
Yeah.
proud of the man as
Wow.
well.
That's how God created humans. God created the man to lead. He's supposed to take care of. And so when he does, he gets proud. Because a woman is not created to take care of, when she does, it becomes a burden on her.
You see, a lazy man is not qualified to get married.
That's
Because when God created man, first he created the garden and everything in it, and then he created man. He placed him in the garden and said, work it out.
Exactly.
Before he brought Eve, Adam was working it out. So for me, a lazy man is not worthy of any woman. You have lost your position as a man if you're not providing for your family.
So then again, we go back to the question: is love the only thing?
So
that should
let me
make
just
you
pose this
stay in
question.
marriage?
If you have a man who is great, you know, handsome, you know, treats you well and all of that, but is lazy.
What is he using to treat you well as a lazy man?
Exactly.
You think sitting by me is treating me well?
See, sometimes
Giving you massages.
men do all the good things for us women, but because we are enjoying that love. Okay, so let me give scenarios.
Sure.
So he's not that lazy. He's home because maybe there's no work for him at the moment, even though he can, you know. But there are kids, and you have a stable job as the woman. So you go and then you work. But the man is always in the house and always taking care of your kids, take them to school, bring them back. Sometimes by the time you come back, everything is okay. You know, some men do these things for us women, but we forget that they are lazy. Why? Because we are enjoying it. And we misquote that for, I mean, it's not even that we are misquoting. We think that that is enough. That is enough.
Work and come back, and I think
we are thinking that is enough till the man start doing all the bad things to you before you realize that love is not enough.
I don't understand what Nai is saying. Am I the only one who doesn't understand?
A man is not created to stay at home and take care of kids. No. No, he's
but there are
supposed
some
to help.
men doing. I want us to be realistic. There are some men who do not have jobs now, true or false.
Oh, that one there is true.
Temporary.
They are home.
Yeah. It should be
They
temporal.
are good. They
Yes.
are home. You have kids. Sometimes by the time you come back from work, he's gone for the kids, bath for them, everything in the house. And I'm saying that them doing all these things, we women think that that love is enough without having at the back of our minds that this man is supposed to work. Even though the things, he's showing you love, but even doing that, even though the things that he's doing, you enjoy it, we forget.
Well,
but lazy men don't do that. Lazy men don't do that. Lazy men will
some
just
lazy
laze around.
men,
Oh no, if a man does that, he's not
lazy. It
I
means
don't
that
think that he's lazy.
circumstances have caused him not to have a job.
Yeah.
And so he's given the helping hand at home. And you see him making all the effort to get a job.
Yeah.
You know,
But
because
let me pose this scenario. There are communities in Ghana now, even in Accra here, where, you know, the man is so lazy, doesn't really contribute to. It's the woman who goes out there, you know, does everything, comes back with the money, and then even at that point, the man collects the money and decides how it is shared. In some communities in Accra, in Ghana, it's true.
It's total
It's
nonsense.
true. It's happening. No, it's happening.
It's total
It's
nonsense.
happening. No. This is a fact. It's not like I'm making this up. It's a fact.
Yeah.
It happens in some communities.
Yeah.
And you know, the women. I don't know whether it's a cultural thing, but the women are okay with it because for them, as long as they have a male partner, that's okay. That's acceptable in their communities, right? I mean, but obviously, it's not right.
No,
it's
Almost
not right.
like the scenario.
so then it's not really about love, but it's about what society wants you to do. And that's
Exactly.
why you're doing it. But you're not
Exactly.
doing it because you are in love.
Yeah.
Because the time will come where you'll be so burdened that you want to be out. But you can't be out because society will judge you for being out. But hey, we'll take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll delve into our next topic. Studio audience, don't worry at all. We're going to come back to you. But let's go on a break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. So we are talking about societal pressure on especially ladies to look young. Are you concerned about your age when it comes to what the society thinks about you? I'm going to direct this to
I wonder why.
we have filters all over the place.
I know, right? I mean, we are forever trying to look young. And why? Is it because society places a lot of emphasis on youth or being youthful looking, you know? Because when you're old, it seems like nobody wants to hear about you. Nobody wants to see you. You see women, you know, trying to get, you know, facelifts, going for surgeries and all of that, all in a bid to look young. Why is it that people just want to continue drinking from the fountain of youth? I don't know. What's the benefit of staying young or looking young? Rosie, you tell me.
Benefit. Okay, you know, I always say this. I don't do things because of people. I do things because of me, pleasing myself. Yes, I want to look young.
Why? Why?
Because I always want to look fresh. I want to look youth. I want to look. It's how I want to look.
But you know that age will catch up with you. Aging is part of our process.
Honey, it's part of the process. I don't quicken it.
cool.
I'm not going to hasten age there because it's part of the process. Come to me. I wish that in my 70s I'll still look fit, although it might not be so. But that's my wish because I still want to look fresh. I still want, it's not because of somebody, but I just want to stand in the mirror and say, hey, Rosalind, you are fabulous. You still have the flat tummy, although it's not there now. I want to look there in the mirror and say, oh, I don't have wrinkles, although I might have wrinkles at that time. It's not because of what Araba will say. It's not because of what Na will say. It's not because of what Bernice will say. But it's because I look at the mirror and I love what I see. So it's not about society pressure, not for me, but it's for how I will feel. And every time I dress up, I tell people, I dress up because I want to look good, not to look good for somebody. And so if I look good in the mirror, hey, I feel good that day. And when I'm walking, you should see me.
But why is there a lot of societal pressure for women to look young? I mean, some of the stories that I read, on the internet, especially women who give birth, they're in a hurry to snap back into shape and, look good for their husbands because they don't want their husbands looking elsewhere, They don't want their husbands having an excuse to have mistresses or cheating on them or whatever the case is. It's like there's so much pressure right now because now everybody wants to look good and there are things to make you look good, And so before you might not have been able to look as good as the next woman. Now it's easy. Everything is made easy for you. Makeup and all of that, everything. You can go for fillers and you look perfect like Kim Kardashian. Not that she looks perfect, but like people try to look like her. So I don't know what it is about our fixation on looking young. Is it just so that we can be better than the next woman, or is it just so that people can say, oh wow, she looks good, or is it just so that our partners will satisfy our partners so that they don't stray? What is it?
Nadu.
I will do it for myself. Right, so I don't feel the pressure from society because it is me. If I want to look young, I want to look young for myself. But there are some women who will do that for their husbands because yes, there are younger ones coming up and the body is looking all fresh and there are things that would make them look fresh, and you as a woman, you see your husband looking elsewhere or your partner looking elsewhere. So some women would want to do that so they can, still be in position. You understand? So for me, I will do that for myself. I want to look good for myself. I want to feel confident in my skin. Not to say that without all those things, I will not feel comfortable. Okay, but just to enhance and still look beautiful and, So I will do that for myself, but not because society is giving pressure.
Yeah. I'll do same for myself. But I agree with you when you say you would consider your partner. I'm married to a man who, for 13 years, he looks the same. He eats everything and he looks the same. And if I don't take care of myself, somebody would ask if I'm his mom. So I will consider my partner in this situation. You understand? So I feel there are some women who would also consider their partners because they have a special metabolism. They eat everything, they remain the same way, they never add weight, they never change. But you, the woman, you drink water and you are gaining weight. So you would want to do that for yourself, but also to consider that when you're walking with him on the street, nobody would think he's your firstborn.
Now, talking about, where women put on weight after childbirth and they are struggling, they really want to go back. I think it's a psychological thing. It's not easy for you to be a size 8, have a baby, become a size 14 or 16, and you stay there. Psychologically, it's very difficult. And so most women who want to go back is just because the change is not easy. I know a lot of mothers who struggle under postpartum where they cry. They open their wardrobe and they see their clothes, old clothes, and they start crying. Some of them have to go through counseling because of that. So it's not easy. It's a psychological help, yes, because of that. It's not easy. So yes, maybe you say because of the man. Now, one thing I say, if a man wants to cheat, he'll cheat. It's not how you look. People have perfect bodies. Their husbands are cheating. And if you see the women they are cheating with, you wonder, what exactly are you looking for? So their women are wearing all the makeup, all the hair. They've done their BBLs and their liposuctions, but the men are still cheating. Sometimes even with the house help who doesn't even take a bath. So
did you have to add that, Rosalind?
Some of them hardly do.
They
though.
don't.
Some of them hardly do. It's a fact. Some of them are very neat, but some of them hardly do. But the men will still, some men will still go. So it's not about you dressing up for the man.
Yeah.
It's not about you
Yeah.
losing weight for the man, but for yourself.
Yeah.
Because it is not easy to have a child and be okay.
Yeah.
Listen, even breastfeeding is a toll.
Yeah.
Knowing that your breast is going to sag, Araba, it is not easy.
Eish.
It is not. Imagine you had an A cup, then you get pregnant and you move to a D or a double D. And all of a sudden, your breast that was standing is now doing this. It's not easy. You understand? Sometimes it's not about the man.
And
How
It's
do I
about
go?
yourself.
Rosalind, there are some men that love life. So women who are married to such women,
Such men.
such men even feel more pressured. See, there are some men that they're even fighting with you when you're standing in front of the mirror. He loves his life, the way he wants to look. So you, the woman, what about dollar? It's your own problem. So it's like, you see, my husband is that he can just look at you and say, "Wait, let me know fear." You know, he sometimes you look at my tummy and say, "Sechukasa, chema and all." You know, so there are some men they'll do it in a funny way, but indirectly, but be careful. Indirectly, they are communicating to you.
They are communicating.
Indirectly, they are communicating to you.
Yeah.
So if you, the woman, you don't want to pay attention to that indirect communication, then you've got something to lose. But if it is marriage,
What, by time
I'm coming. If it is marriage, because he's telling you that you are going off a bit, and he's also the type that if you are stepping out, he'll tell you, can you just pull this up a little? Can you just check your lips?
I get you,
So
but
yes,
that
there are
should
some
not-
men.
That should not be a reason for you to cheat.
I'm saying, not cheating. No. We've not even
Okay.
talked about cheating.
Okay.
I'm saying that such men even give pressure to
their
their women. So that is why some women will do it for their partners.
Right.
Even though I will do it for myself.
Yeah.
Chamber hole.
Yeah.
I want to meet your husband though.
Yeah, he's such a nice person. He'll say to the nice, hey, Timber, indirectly, hey, we're going to tell me.
Which one is chamber? Which one is what?
Let me see if you have one.
I don't have.
So you see sometimes the tummy divides into,
Yeah.
into two.
Right.
So he'll call one chamber
Chamber
and the other one. He's communicating.
Let me go to the studio audience and hear what they have to say. Hello. Who's going to talk for us first?
All right, so I'll talk. Okay, so I'll say it's not about society pressure. Personally, I want to look forever young because the kind of energy I'm having right now at this age, I love it.
Energy.
Yeah, the energy. It helps me do a lot of things. Like I can able to multitask in a lot. So me thinking of growing up and losing all this energy and everything, yeah, that's it. So it's not about society pressure. Yeah.
All right. Who else?
Okay, so I think it's about the stigmatization behind becoming big. You know, sometimes you go for a work and then the boss will look at you up and down and be like, nah, I want people who look fit for this kind of work. So I think that's
also part of it, right? I think it's another thing that. But will the boss tell you, I want you to look like this before they give you a job?
Oh, there are some bosses like that. They require a certain
Figure. Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't have it,
Depending on the job, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
yes.
so it's not every job.
Not every job.
Okay, so what are some of the jobs that will require that?
Flight
Maybe-
attendant.
Flight attendant,
Uh-huh.
okay?
Not
course, you
not
don't
front
use-
personnel exactly, but there are some jobs that specify.
Araba, any particular job that you think that, you know, they require you to be slim, slender, you know?
Well, I suppose it depends though. If you're an actress, right? Maybe not for a local situation, but you know, internationally, I know in Hollywood, a lot of women there strive to look young because once they go past a certain age, the roles they don't get the roles anymore. So you have to look young so that you can get the roles. And obviously when you get the roles, it means that you're working and you're putting food on your table. So a lot of them go, you know, to, you know, the surgeons to have the, how do you call
The
it?
fillers?
The fillers and all of that, you know, the plastic surgery done.
Will you ever
And
have
they-
a Botox?
Will I ever have it? No, with this face.
Yeah. Will you ever have
Do you
a
know what
Botox?
Botox does? It plumps up your face.
Okay.
It plumps up. So if you are looking like withdrawn and old and like
There are types of Botox though.
Yeah.
There's the one that actually plumps you, and there's the one that actually burns the
You really want to look
muscles
young,
or the
darling.
fat. So there are people who go for Botox, and it can make you look young. You don't plump up.
Okay.
And then now there is the injection, the lipo chin injection as well. So for those who have double chin, you just go inject it, and then it will burn the fat.
maybe I
here.
need that one. I think I'm
Yeah. So
developing
will
a double
will you
chin.
ever do that?
A double chin, yes, that one I can. I
can
will
go
consider
for
it.
it,
But
right.
other than that, I get compliments that I look younger than I actually am, and so I don't think that I have a problem there. But I don't just depend on that. I actually work out, I exercise just to maintain that look. Obviously, I'm aware that I'm aging. I'm aware that I will grow old and wrinkles will come at a point in time. So I psyched myself up for that, right? But obviously, I mean, if there are ways of looking good and still young, and healthy, I'll go for that.
Right. Nadu, will you do any Botox, liposuction?
I don't know about it. When we get there, we'll cross the river.
You don't know about liposuction. You don't know what it is.
Oh, no, I know. I mean, when we get there, we'll cross. If I need it, time will tell.
But if
So-
you ever need it, will you do it? You got
When we
something
get there, we'll
about
cross
it.
the river.
Okay.
Uh,
Bernice?
I don't think I will.
You won't?
No.
Not at all.
I'm even afraid of injections. So
Oh, right.
knife.
It's a no-no for you.
No.
I would do it without blinking. I will do it. Hey, what?
Rosalind.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
innocent to look young.
See, I really want to be forever young, honey. You know the song, right? Mm-hmm. Forever young. I want to be forever young. Oh, this is me.
That is
okay?
not
And that
how-
is why I'm 25 years.
That is not how it goes.
How does
please.
it go?
You cannot age backwards.
Which
yeah,
one is your
going
own?
forward.
Which one is yours?
Yeah,
It's my
going
choice.
forward.
I said I'm
Whether
even-
you like it or not,
I'm
you
even
age.
on this show. I've said this
Under
around
the
me.
age
I am
to come.
25 years.
Next year, you'll be 25. Next 2 years, still 25.
We'll take a quick break on that note, and when we come back is the next topic. Do stay with us.
Hello and welcome back to The Sixth Sense. Now come closer, turn up the volume, because I guarantee this is one topic that you are going to be so interested in. We're talking about death. Are you still interested? Come closer. No, we're talking about planning your funeral. Is that something that you will consider? Now, this is becoming a trend. Well, I don't know whether it's a trend in Ghana, but it's becoming a trend elsewhere, outside. In the US, popular actress, Black American actress Gabrielle Union, she's planned her funeral. I mean, everything down to the music that will be used and all of that. And in some parts of the world, people see this as strange. Others also think that, well, it's natural. I mean, why not plan your death? You die anyway, so plan it. But we know that in our culture, death is a taboo subject. You know, we don't really talk about death. So to go beyond that, to start planning when you die, what you are going to do. I mean, is that right? Or should we begin to consider it? So that's the question I need you to think about. I'm also going to pose it to my panelists, my co-panelists. So let's start with you, Rosalind.
Oh, wow.
Even though you are not dying now.
Oh, wow. I think
Is that something that you will consider?
I think.
And why would you do it anyway?
In our day and age, I think it's something that we have to start considering. You know, funeral is very expensive.
It is.
Very expensive. I came to realize this when my dad passed.
Oh, okay.
It's unexpected.
Tell us about how expensive
it's
it
a
can get.
cost that you never ever budget for.
Okay.
You know, you plan for your wedding, you plan for your birthdays and all of that, but we don't plan for funerals because we don't hope the person will die. Even when the person is lying on the sick bed, then you know the person is dying, you're still praying for recovery. So we never plan for it. However, after the death, then the reality hits where you are buying coffin worth 15,000, where you are paying undertaker about, 5,000, where you are paying the mortuary a certain amount a day, and it's paid daily, where, you know, you have to hire heirs, where you have to pay for maybe the hole that the person will be buried in. You have to now go pay for, and if the person doesn't belong to, you know, some with some jobs, you die and they wear your uniform, so you don't buy it. But if the person has to be wearing,
Wearing.
if the person has to be wearing, like, you know, those funeral clothes and all of that, you have to pay for it. You have to now also pay for the reception food. You are paying for so much that you didn't budget for. The thing is, you did not budget for it. So it becomes tough on the people that you leave behind, your loved ones. And so looking at this now we've seen a lot of insurance companies even coming up with funeral policies and all. And so I think we should think about it. I know somebody who actually paid for her grave when she was alive. And so when she passed, it was easy for her children to bury her, because they didn't have to go and pay for the grave. She had covered some of the costs, you know.
So here's the question. I mean, like I said, in our culture, death is a taboo subject that you don't throw around a lot, the word. So when you go and buy a coffin and you put it down because you know that you will die and this is how you want to be buried, or you go and select a grave, aren't you calling your death to come quicker?
So is it buying your coffin? It's a fund that maybe you want to put down. Not necessarily you going to buy a coffin. You putting some money aside that if I should pass, this is what they should use it for. You understand? Yes, you might buy your grave. That is not calling. But paying for a coffin, I think that is calling death. Like, come to me. But if I'm saving towards the funeral, that's different, completely different, you know. And again, even when we talk about funeral business, it's even like when somebody says I'm into funeral business, it's like a taboo. Meanwhile, there's so much money in
They're
there.
making a lot of money.
Everybody's dying.
Yeah.
They're making so much money.
No matter what, someone will die.
Hey, it's money, oh.
Yeah, how does it make you feel? I'll come to you, my
okay,
darling.
all right.
Yes.
I mean, in as much as babies are born, we will also be dying. And I think that we have to consider the people we leave behind, our family, our friends. So I have a death policy. I pay 10 euros a month.
Okay.
I have to do that for 18 years. But before the 18 years, if something should happen, I'm covered.
Okay.
My children do not have to think about how they are going to do what. And even in your part of the world, in Ghana here, the way you guys do funeral, oh my God, that's the more reason why you have to save towards it. Because it's a bet. Sometimes people keep the corpse in the mortuary for months. And why? It's because they have to raise funds.
Yeah.
But over there, you are dead. In less than a week, you must be buried. So wherever the family is going to get the money from, they must provide the money for your body to be taken out. You need time I do body a kosher fridge for 3 months.
No.
So I think that we have to break that taboo and start preparing ourselves for the sake of the people we leave behind, so that we don't burden them. We don't put too much pressure on them.
I hear you, but you know, I mean, in as much as, and I hear that from Rosling as well, that it's to save stress, because you're saving money, putting down money, you know, so that when the time comes, you'll be able to, how do you call it? Just see your father off in grand style. And so, for some people, funerals are like parties.
Yeah.
Funerals are like huge events.
Yeah.
So they are prepared to pay and make, a showing of it, even though they don't plan it. So it's not like, oh, I'm putting down money and then when it comes, we'll have a party, we'll find the money and we'll have the party. Is that the way to go?
That's an error.
That's an error. And it's actually a lot of cost. If you want to have a good funeral in Ghana, you don't need anything less than 100,000 Ghana cedis.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That much?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, if you want to have it, because you have to feed. How much is should I say plates of food now?
Yeah.
Because
The head is very expensive.
How much is it?
Yeah.
And with funerals, you can't control the crowd.
Yeah.
So this is you looking at probably 800 people, whereas when you were having your wedding, you invited only 200. You're feeding about 1,000 people, and they are charging you what? 30 cedi per plate or 40 cedi per plate. Do the math. You are given drinks. Do the math.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Then you are paying for grave. You are paying for coffin. is a lot of money. How many people can actually cough out 100,000? So what happens is people go for loans, expecting that kind of money that will come in as they call it in Sawa. So if the Sawa doesn't come, then after the funeral, you see then there's family dispute because of funeral. Somebody dies. And a person goes and there's family dispute. And my money is here, and you this, and so many things. It can be prevented. You can prevent it.
But you don't. Do we really need huge funerals?
We don't.
We don't.
We don't.
Perhaps we should
but it's
continue.
happening.
We should contemplate the idea of cremating our bodies.
Yeah.
That's easier.
Yeah.
You just put a person's body in an incinerator, then it just
The most
burns it up.
right?
No,
they don't.
no.
They don't.
No, it's the
They
Hare
bury.
Krishnas.
They do that.
Yeah, the Hare Krishnas do that. The Hare Krishnas don't bury, they actually cremate.
Yeah.
My grandfather was a Hare Krishna, and so we
okay.
cremated him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's a scary thing to see.
It's a scary thing to see.
Yes, because
How?
the person is lying there, you see the person. So you see, abroad, we have a lot of machines. I think now the machines have come to Ghana.
Okay.
But back then, when my grandfather died, they actually put him on, how do you call it? The wood. And they use a wood to cover to the top.
Okay.
And then everybody go light a little bit. And then he burns to the, to ashes. After that, you see the body shape still there. And then they pick the
Ashes.
ashes. And then you can decide to keep it or go pour it in the sea.
Wow.
Yes.
I think that it's
You
a
say
cool-
wow, but now there's a machine.
Now you don't see it.
Now they just put the person in the machine and the
Yeah.
person is
Do you
Then
know
it
what
comes
came
out
to
of
mind when I was saying wow? So the sea is full of ashes.
We are
swimming in
eating
it.
the fish that comes from it.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that is a cool thing for you to prepare your death or plan. If you die, this and this and this is what I want. The music and everything. I can't. It's okay. It's so cool for me because first of all, you see how people struggle to do funerals for their loved ones. Some go to an extent of taking loans, and at the end of the day, they struggle even to pay. So when it happens that way, even the dead body in the grave would not even rest. So I think that it's so cool if all of us, we can adapt this. But here in Ghana, for instance, if you start doing that, they'll just say you are inviting death, like you are calling death. When the aged, somebody is aged, and then you want to do some party, maybe 90, you want to do some party, people say, if you do that, you want the person to die. In some instances,
But you're 90.
In some cases, yes, the person dies.
People
but in
have
some
lived up to
cases,
100, so
people
what's your
do
point?
not. In some cases,
grandmother
people
was
do
almost
not
100.
die.
Say if we are doing a party for a 90-year-old, it's a celebration. Why should you not
Pe-
do it?
people think that after that, I mean, this is something that a
I
lot
know
of people
people
have.
think
yeah,
like that, but I'm just saying that, hey, 90 is a very big...
for you to die.
No, no.
But
to celebrate.
to celebrate.
You've
Yes,
come
the
far.
intention is to
You've come
celebrate.
far.
Yes.
It's not about the
Witnessed
death. It's
several
about,
decades.
Yes,
Yeah.
you've witnessed several decades.
Yeah.
I mean, you're 90.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't we have the party for you?
Yeah.
Me,
So-
when it comes to like 80, 70, 80, 90, big party.
Yes.
Because what the person has been able to go through till today, you don't have to sit there and say just because we do the party, the person's going to die.
Yeah.
Do the party.
Yeah. So for instance,
second that.
so for
Do the
instance,
party.
you have worked that hard whilst you were alive, and because you're not able to put all these things in place, you die, and the sort of music you would want to hear to be okay, the music is not there. You want to be buried at this. People are waiting to chop your money, but they will not do a befitting
Burial
for you.
What funeral? What song would you want them to play at your funeral?
What song would you want them to play at your funeral?
The one that will be trending at that time.
Me too.
Ah, okay. but that is about 50 years to come.
60 years to come.
Okay. All right.
So one of the advantages of actually planning your funeral is if you want certain things to be done and certain things not to be done. So you can plan in detail what you want. So for example, one of my friends whose dad has passed, before he passed, he said that he didn't want any wake-keeping. He didn't want them to, have any cloth to commemorate his death or anything like that. It's just a simple church service, They shouldn't even demand donations. If people come and they bring it.
Oh, why did he do that?
Because, I mean,
The
he's
money is
raised...
very important.
No. He worked hard. He had
There's
money.
money. There's money.
And then his children worked hard. Nobody is lacking. So there's no money issue.
Yeah.
Yes, but still,
Okay, it's different from the usual situation. Yeah, so basically that's what it is. People plan it just so that they go the way that they want to go. Yeah, I think it's a good thing.
It's actually a good thing. Let me go
cool.
to the studio audience. Hello, who's going to speak for us?
Hello,
Hi.
I'm Beatrice.
Hi,
Hello.
Beatrice.
Okay, I think it's perfectly fine to plan your death, and mind you, there is a reason to everything. Probably the person has seen someone or a relative died, and how he or she was treated at the funeral. People were talking. There is no money to bury him. You see, there are several meetings that goes on before a person is being buried. So arguments here and there, and you are the back watching. You are seeing all this going on. So you don't want to be a victim of that. So it's okay. It's fine to plan your death. That okay, this is how I want it. Unless of course you're a Muslim. You see, for them there is no this and it.
But even with the Muslims, you know, they have celebrations after. I think there's a 40 days or something. I have to find out more details about it. Yeah, I think they have the 40 days and then they have 90 days or something. So even though they bury you the first day, there's still some celebration that goes on after you are buried. Yeah. But because we don't know, so you don't see it. You might not, you think that, oh, yes, it's cheap. It's not that cheap. It's not that cheap. Yes.
Okay, so if you can plan your marriage, you can also plan your funeral. If you are alive and then you are like, if I die, use my body for this and that. That means you can still plan, how you die. And then day in, day out, people find ways and means to cut down costs. So if this is what's trending, planning my funeral just to cut down excessive costs, why not?
Right, okay. So it looks like planning the funeral definitely cut down excessive costs. You final submission and then we can go.
I think it's high time Ghanaians change their mindsets about certain things, and then it's very good to plan your death, because if you do that, at the latter end you are helping those you leave behind. So Ghanaians should change their mindset about how they accept things like this and move forward to plan their deaths too.
Right, thank you. Now, you know, some people don't even prepare a will because they feel when you do a will, it's you calling your death. This is something else. But it's about time that
like I said,
mindset
it's, death is a taboo subject in Ghana. People are becoming more enlightened now, so obviously a lot of people are planning their funerals, taking funeral policies and all of that. But a greater population of the public still think that, you know, death is a taboo subject. You don't deal with it. You don't discuss it. If it happens, yes, then we'll do what we have to do and we quietly move on. But it's still a taboo subject.
Wow. Some things that happens. I know that you are definitely talking about all the topics that we discuss right here, especially how to look young, like we were all looking young. And our final submissions before we go, let me start off with you, Bennett.
So I think that it's a good thing to plan your death, how you want to be buried, how you want things to be done at your funeral. So if you have the opportunity and the strength to take up a policy, do it.
All right. Nadu?
So let me speak to the issue of you not aging, looking young. It's a good thing, but please, if you want to do it for yourself. Those who would want to do it for their partners, nobody is holding you. It's accepted, but please make sure that you do it for yourself. I would always want to look young.
Okay. Araba.
Okay, I want to speak to the issue about love, whether it's enough for it's enough in a marriage. And I know that it's very debatable, but I stand by my point that it is enough, because when you look up the biblical definition of love, it entails a lot, and you realize that it's not just the lovey-dovey, you know, emotional things that you do. It's a lot more. So yeah.
Although it's enough, make sure you still put some money on the table. Very important, right? Oh, you don't say anything.
Go and read the Bible. It's inside there. It's inside.
It's inside.
Yes.
You're not putting anything on the table. You're telling me it's enough. Is it love we go chop? But
Love,
that
money, everything put together.
Araba.
Yes.
So wait, will you ever ban people from attending your funeral? Like, you know, there are some people that you just don't want to see, so you don't want them at your funeral.
Well, at that point, I'm gone. So I mean,
Or probably she's going to write. She's going to
write.
put in
I
the
say, this person should
don't
come.
allow
This
this
person should
person to
At that
come.
person, at that point, I'm gone. So I really don't care. It doesn't
Well,
make a
you know
difference.
what? Anytime we bring you a musician, we actually let her sing a little
do.
bit. A little bit. So before
Oh,
we
you
go,
do.
now Bernice, tell us your new song. Tell us about your new song, where
Okay.
we can get it, and you sing a bit of it for us. Okay.
Okay, so it's on all the digital platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, and all that. YouTube, you can find me there, Bernice Spanford. Instagram, Bernice Spanford. And it's the Overcomers album. You can stream it. So I'm going to sing the one I featured Diana Hamilton.
Okay, we're ready.
So it's Forgive my voice.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Like we're ready, right?
Yes, so share. Yes, sumo. Come on and taste and see. See the Lord is good. The love of Jesus is unconditional. Yes, sumo. I hear somebody singing there. Branave so share. Yes, sumo. Come on and taste and see. See the Lord is good. See the love of Jesus is unconditional. Yes, sumuado. Go enjoy it.
Wow. Thank you so much for being here, Bernice.
Thank you
We
for
are
having
super
me.
grateful. Thank you.
you.
And of course, Nadu Olay. And a big thank you to our studio audience. A bigger thank you to Onga. Now, when you go to the market and you want to purchase a spice, make sure that it's only Onga you're buying. The others are called the others. This is called Onga. There are different flavors. We have the chicken. We have the onion. We have the garlic. We have the ginger. I mean, what else do you want? What else do you want? Make sure you purchase Onga. Onga, Mom is helping. And my name is Roslyn Felly. This has been the Sense. We'll be back again next week. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.